Welcome to PC Gaming Tech Summary. I'm your host, Gamer. And today we go over a computer build, a possibility to get a computer. And we're going to look at how it's put together, the plan, so to speak. We'll talk about that more in a moment. But before I forget, 12th Gen Intel CPUs, alleged, estimated, grain of salt pricing. All right, i9 12900K, around $870 US. That's got the 8 cores with the 16 threads. Those are your gaming cores. And then you've got additional 8 cores with 1 thread per each of those cores. Now, a thread is like a pipe or a wire coming out of the core. So you've got some fast gaming cores. Okay, eight of those with 2 threads, 2 pipes coming out, 2 wires coming out of each core. Okay, then you have some slower multitasking cores that are 8 cores, 8 threads. Okay, so you can alt-tab, you can switch back and forth between your gaming, your video editing, and your experience hopefully will be smoother, less stuttering. Yes, very interesting to try this out, won't it? We look forward to the testing of these products. So the i7 12700K, 8 cores, 8 cores, 16 threads, the fast gaming cores, and I believe you get 4 of the multitasking cores. Okay, $620 US ballpark. That means estimated. Okay, i5 12600K. Now that I believe is 6 cores with the 12 threads. Those are your gaming cores, and then you got either 2 or 4 cores for your multitasking. Okay, and that's a more affordable $430 US. So that fits more in line with the 11th gen at the moment, which is around that figure, around the 400 or a bit less. I saw today than that, like 360 maybe, for the 11th gen. And I'll have, you can have a look in the description below. There's some links there where you can go straight in to the Intel 11th gen if you're interested. So today we're going to look at an option that I haven't seen recently, or I haven't seen around in other channels. In other channels, they talk about different ways that you can have a computer, such as you can build a computer, you can buy a computer fully built, and other option would be to buy like half-built computer, do-it-yourself thing, and this is another thing. What I've done in the past, I've done this before, is I've planned a computer. Okay, so let me explain. What I do is I write down the parts that I want. Just one option for each of the parts. I'll have backups, a list of backups, but I'll only provide a list of primary parts that I want. Okay? And then what I do is I take this to a PC builder, a shop, a business, local business that builds computers, fixes computers and all of that. And I asked for a quote. For having this computer built. And then I look at the quote. And then I decide oh, should I go get another quote? And maybe go get two more quotes somewhere else, some other business. And I'd take a look at that and say, okay, this person can build my computer and they're responsible for it working. Okay, so you have to pay them a bit of labor to put it together. Obviously, you pay for the parts. They get wholesale on the parts, and then they mark it up, put it into the whole pricing, and that way, that stress of it not working, problems, troubleshooting, because you spend all this money, you get all the parts, you put it together, and whoa, there's problems, serious problems. And that feeling is horrible. That is just a terrible, stressful feeling to have. So by doing it this way, you have control of what's gonna be in your computer. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. It is another option. It's another option. Okay, we're on the 3rd of September, 2021. You heard it here, okay? Now, another option that I've taken in the past is I couldn't afford to buy the parts. I couldn't afford to buy a whole computer. So I looked at interest-free terms, financing, where I could get interest-free financing, how I could do it. Is there a computer shop that's got good financing, interest-free? Hey, you can control what's going to be in your computer and have it built. And it's guaranteed to be working. That's their job, get it working. So, yeah. So you will have possible shops like in America, especially Best Buy, Costco, Micro Center, et cetera. You've got a lot of shops, a lot of big stores that you can buy the individual parts there as well. So that leads us to graphics cards. Now, at the moment, my general advice would be to look at the pricing of graphics cards locally, okay? In your neighborhood, in your country, try and get an idea of what you can get, and take that into consideration, okay? Now, I would recommend the NVIDIA 3000 series, which is the 3060 12 gigabyte of memory, the 3060 Ti, 3070, 3070 Ti. Now, in my country, I live in New Zealand, I bought a 3060 12 gigabyte when it was released back in February. And as I look at the pricing today, it's the same. It's only $10 more or something. It's basically the same pricing as back in February. So it's come back down, okay? And the price for a 3080 has not. No. I could have gotten a 3080 for a lot less, but I was a bit worried because I have a 7700 i7 Intel 7700, and I was afraid that it wouldn't be able to generate the frames for the 3080, and so that would be a bit of a waste. So I got the 3060. I game at 60 frames per second, 60 hertz on a 4K TV, which I use as my computer monitor. Okay, I mainly play single player games. I play a role-playing game. It's multiplayer or single player. You don't have to progress by playing with other people. I like that because I can just drop it in a heartbeat. I can drop what I'm doing and do other things. Okay, I can spend time with the family, whatever, answer the phone. But if I'm in a multiplayer and I've got all these people on my headset, and we're plotting and spending a lot of time trying to set things up and attack and whatever, it's much more difficult just to drop what you're doing. So I've moved over from that over into single player, and I like the 4K and 60 frames per second. That's fine. It's fine for me at the moment. I have, a nice display. So that's where the 3060 has been great, because I had a 1070, and if you compare 1080p on the 1070 compared to the 3060, there's not much difference. You get like a 10% improvement, okay? But if you look at 4K, the difference is huge. 30 to 40, you're talking 25% to like 40% improvement in frames, okay? I got older videos with all that data in it, all the FPS. I'm comparing the two. And so, yes, the 3060 12 gigabyte, you can use it as a 4K gaming GPU. Okay, that's what I do. That's what I do every day, okay? So I'm telling you that right now. You can tweak your settings in the games these days to get what you want, get the frames that you want, like in that neighborhood. Now, I can't get 120, 144 frames reliably on every game with the 3060. No, I can't, okay? But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to play 60 frames per second at 4K. So, pricing of graphics cards is an issue. So I'm looking at Amazon. I've got some links that help you search all the 3000 series graphics cards in the description below. It'll say like USA GPUs, UK and Ireland GPUs, and Canadian GPUs. And so I've just tested the American link, and it came up with like just almost all GPUs. There were a couple connectors, but it really helped with looking at the different products. So you can have a look there, get an idea. I'm telling you, it just looks like the tariffs from China are just really killing you guys in America. Not every country has got those high tariffs. And so the pricing in America is higher for GPUs than it is here in New Zealand because of that. Because we can ship. We're closer to China, and we can get stuff shipped. We're closer to Taiwan. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right. Well, I'm sorry to keep going on and on like this, but I have a lot to talk about today because it's a new idea, pre-built. You know, you can get financing for a pre-built, but it's more fun to pick those parts. It's a lot more fun to learn about it. And so I'm gonna help with that in this video. And if it drags on too long, I'll make a second part to it, okay? Now, an update on the 3090 failures. My understanding is it's been a low percent, a total percent, and one of the problems has been poor soldering. Yes. So in the manufacturing process, been some poor soldering that has contributed to this problem. Now, I've heard that the game that was having high frame rates in the menu, I've heard that they've fixed that to max out the frame rates there in the menus and whatnot. I know EVGA is replacing any burned out 3090s, so yeah, definitely seek the, getting a new one, getting it replaced. If it has failed, and in particular, cards that were built in the beginning. Okay, so that early release of the 3090s is where the problem seems to be. Soldering of the MOSFET, MOSFET, which is one of the electronic parts, on the circuit board, okay, where the GPU and all the power and everything sits. I've mentioned it before, but I'll just raise it now. Gigabyte PSUs, 750 watt, 850 watts. There have been some major problems with certain serial numbers. So go to the Gigabyte website, have a look there, see if you've got a unit that's in those serial numbers. Definitely get it replaced before it fails. Get it replaced now. Okay, I'm telling you. And avoid buying them. Possibly, maybe you should. Possibly avoid buying 750s and 850s in the meantime until the smoke is cleared. You know, I don't know, if I owned a business that had that problem, I would think about just changing the manufacturing to make 700s and 800s and just get rid of the 750 and 850 from the product line, and then that issue is just goes away because we don't even sell them anymore, you know, that kind of thing. But anyways, I'm not in charge. All right, people that are importing parts into their country. So we create a computer. We have a computer built, let's say, or we build one our own or whatever. I'm hoping to build an Alder Lake computer. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see. We'll see if that comes to fruition or not. So if you're importing parts from other countries, where I live, there's a What's My Duty website. So I can put in what I want to import, the price, and if there's any extra duty on it, okay? Put in the freight as well, and then it lets me know. So basically, if I import anything greater than 1,000 New Zealand dollars, then I get charged duty. So you can buy a lot of small parts and not have to pay any duty, which is great.
Thanks for joining us here on PC Gaming Tech Summary. And don't forget, you'll be seeing me in the next video.